everyone, welcome back. Chris McCormick joined by Carmen Corvino, and today we are in our Scottsdale studio testing new TaylorMade Qi35 Fairway woods. So we've got a couple heads to hit. There's 5 in this family, and 3 that we're going to test today. For a player your skill level, not necessarily going to hit the max fast or the ladies head, so save you a couple swings there.
Thanks.
But before we dive into the bay to hit some shots, make sure give us a like, subscribe to the channel. And with that, are you ready to do some testing?
Let's go ahead.
Let's get after it. First head in the fairway family, we're going to hit Qi35 core head. So you may notice very comparable footprint to what we saw in Qi10, but one thing I want to make note of is every single model, every head that's available in the new Qi35 is going to have adjustability. So you get that 4-degree loft sleeve, everything. 3 wood all the way down to the 7 woods that's offered, and everything in between.
It's a fitter's dream. Looking down at it, it's beautiful. Again, the carbon matte finish, it's definitely appealing to the eye.
Good swing.
That was a good hit. Solid strike, great ball.
Nice ball there. So even in the core head, they're also going to give us adjustability with a TSS weight. So not only is that moving CG around and really fine-tuning launch and spin conditions, but also concentrated CG placement makes it really easy to hit it off the deck and also produce that nice high launch that we're looking for out of a fairway wood off the deck. Another good ball.
Slight off the toe. Not
That's
a bad miss,
playable
though.
all day.
All day.
Very nice.
For a miss hit, that is exactly what I'd like to see out of a fairway wood.
For sure.
Nice high ball flight, just short in distance of what I typically would hit it.
Let's get one more to round out this sample. Nice.
But very well struck again.
Absolutely.
I like how easy it is when I make contact and I look up and I can see how high it's going.
Yeah, there's no difficulty launching this, that's for sure. That's good. Let's take a look at this compared to Qi10 core and see how they stack up side by side. All right, Carmen, taking a look at our comparison screen here. Qi10 core head versus Qi35. A couple things jumping out to me here right away. Hey, what do you see when you're taking a look here?
Right away, the ball speed gains again, looking at the increase there. I also like seeing the increase in the launch go up a little bit. Spin stayed the same, so you get a little bit of a higher ball flight for a fairway wood off the deck. That's kind of what I'm looking for. And the increase in distance is 10 yards. I love seeing that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, 3 more miles an hour of ball speed, and improvement in launch, almost 2 degrees. Spin stayed exactly the same, and nice bump and carry. And from what we saw during that initial test, this thing was super easy to launch. Good representation of just improvements in tech. Let's test max and see how max compares to Qi10.
Sounds good.
So max, comparable to like we have in the driver family, this is going to be largest footprint, shallowest face, most forgiving and stable profile, but still gives us an opportunity at 2 degrees of adjustability up or down. And then also you can set it into that upright position as well if you need a little more draw than what it is out of the box.
Without having a loft sleeve in the previous model, with this model, what we'll be able to do as fitters with regard to influencing ball flight for people should be a lot easier for us.
Absolutely.
And setting it down next to the ball, again, it just looks like this thing's gonna go straight to the sky. That was hit pretty well.
That was solid, really solid. And start line just a little further left and almost back to that auto draw. Great ball.
Thank you.
So you can definitely tell that shallower face wants to get up quick. And launch comes up a couple degrees from what we saw in core head. Wow, yeah.
You see the peak height on that as well. Again, making it easy to go high.
Nice.
That was struck very well.
Yeah. And sound validates it. That was a great ball. Wow.
It's super easy to hit.
So footprint on this, do you notice how shallow that face is compared to core?
It almost looks like it has more loft, it feels, just from how shallow that face is. So looking behind it when you're putting it up against the ball, it kind of just looks like it's, again, going to be effortless to send the ball very high.
Nice. Well, come on back, let's take a look at this data side by side with what we saw in Qi10 Max. So taking a look at our comparison screen here, a really cool story looking at Qi10 Max at 16 degrees, Qi35 Max at 15.5, half degree stronger, but hey, walk us through what you're seeing here as far as the data goes.
Looking at the difference between the launch and spin parameters there, bringing down the half a degree in loft and still seeing the launch go up ever so slightly, but then the spin drops a little bit, which is again resulting in a little bit more carry distance for us.
And that's just efficiency of structure, right? I mean, how they're able to reposition some of that weight internally to optimize those launch parameters, that's really solid. And I mean, for as stable as it was, we had a couple of mishits in there and not a lot of curvature or movement downrange. So really, really good design there. I like that. Last head I want to test today is going to be Qi35 Tour. So this head has been extremely popular on tour. So we've kind of come acclimated to seeing this garage type design with that movable weight, but now it's an asymmetric design to where one half is actually a higher concentration of mass compared to the other side. So you can flip that around and fine tune launch and spin even more.
Wow.
At address, probably going to notice just a touch deeper face, and that's intentionally done because this particular player is going to use this as more of another off the tee option in addition to their driver. So other than that deeper face, at address, how's this look to you?
Setting it up against the ball here, it reminds me of essentially what I was looking at when I was looking down at the driver in the LS model.
Okay.
Very similar shape, just feels like it's smaller. And you could visibly see that it's just a little bit of a deeper face setting it up against the ball.
Nice. That'll play.
Slightly off the toe, but not a bad miss.
No, not at all. Keep in mind, we're testing everything at neutral. So if we start to see a little bit more movement than we would ideally like to see, there are a ton of opportunities to fine tune weight and mass and also loft and lie.
And even for hitting where, again, hitting that off of the toe, seeing it go where it did, the spin still kind of maintained where it was. You didn't see that really kind of come crashing down left. That wasn't a bad hit.
No, not at all. Good ball there.
Not a bad strike. Slightly off the toe.
So it sounded a little low on the face.
A little low toe, but again, not a bad miss hit.
No, not at all. Nice. That's a good one to end on.
It was a great hit.
Perfect. Come on back, let's take a look at some data. All right, Carmen, taking a look at these side by side, Qi10 and Qi35. So, I mean, the trend kind of continues with the ball speed story, the launch story, the spin story. And there's definitely a commonality between all of these heads that we've tested against previous generation. And anything jumping out to you specifically with this new tour head?
Again, looking at the increase in ball speed, just the same as we saw across the board with all the other heads. And as well as seeing the launch go up just ever so slightly, and then seeing the spin drop just a touch. I like that we're keeping the ball in that same flight window, and just seeing an increase in ball speed on top of that is definitely a bonus.
This is also the head that has the most opportunity at adjustment and being able to fine tune for the player. And if we had a little more time with this guy, I think we could dial this in and give you something that you would really like, especially with how deep that face is. Another option off the tee as well.
Absolutely.
Now that's a good sample. I think that rounds out a good representation of what new Qi35 Fairway does, especially compared to Qi10 generation. And improvements to be seen across the board and fun to watch, that's for sure.
Yeah, year after year, TaylorMade continues to impress us.
If you would like more information on new Qi35 Fairway wood family, make sure click the link below where we had an opportunity to visit the TaylorMade team out at their HQ facility in Carlsbad, California, take a deep dive into how they came up with all these products and bringing them to you in the marketplace. With that, I'd say we can wrap this up. So make sure, give us a like, subscribe to the channel, and when you are ready to check out new Qi35 Fairway woods, book your next fitting at your local TrueSpec, and we'll see you next time.